lots happened to your White Sox on April Fool's Day, if you can recall, 10 days ago or so. It started out with Mike Clevinger being signed, which immediately everyone just thought was an April Fool's joke, as it just didn't seem like something that the White Sox would do knowingly. They signed him last year before they knew about any of his potential foibles, shall we say, that he has been exonerated of. But there's basically no doubt that Mike Clevenger is not a good guy, and the White Sox are happy to get in bed with him again.
Trouble
Enraging
finds Mike
part of the fan
Clevinger.
base.
I'm
What's that?
sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you. I said trouble finds Mike
No, definitely.
Clevinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it somehow does. I think you were joking about that. We might as well go all in and sign Trevor Bauer as well.
Why
At
not?
this point, who gives a fuck? Clevenger has not pitched yet, though, has he? He's
No.
probably still ramping up.
Yep.
He never really had a spring training. So
Right.
the other eventful moment on April Fool's Day for you guys is the game was actually delayed for a period as your first base coach was missing. Jason Bourgeois, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
That's
Did you hear
right.
this story?
I
Were you
know
watching
this
this
story.
game?
I know this story. He was apparently so involved in watching video of how to position players. He needs a video on how to position players, that he was just that intense. And, Pedro, he had no problem with it because he was working. He just got lost in it.
That was Pedro's explanation, except video evidence showed Bourgeois running up the steps belatedly, tucking in his shirt into his pants, suggesting that he was probably caught taking a shit. I think that's, if you use Hockham's razor, the most plausible explanation is probably the what actually happened. I think that's probably what happened. I think he was taking a shit and Pedro was covering for him.
I don't know why.
I'm not sure why Pedro couldn't just say like he was otherwise disposed. It won't happen again. It was an emergency situation, but I've never seen a game delayed because of a missing first base coach. I forget who you guys were playing at that time, but the road crew, the announcers were marveling at that. Like they figured out what was going on. The Braves got, yeah, okay. That was that series, of course. They had never heard of a game being delayed because there's no first base coach. You didn't know that there had to be a first base coach out there. Which is just, I didn't know that either. Then you could hear, I mean, there's so few people in the ballpark, you could hear the conversations going on, like, get anybody out there. But you've got to have like the helmet at least to man first base now, or to be the first base coach. So that delayed things further, but finally your coach got out there. But that led to a lot of jokes, April Fool's jokes, speculation of what may have happened to your coach. I saw on social media somebody posted maybe the Royals had tried not using a first base coach, so you guys had to try that as well.
Good one.
Jerry is waiting for taxpayers to pay for his first base coach.
Ooh.
Thought that was good. One I had, I didn't see out there, but I thought maybe the Legui family finally got to the first base coach like they did Tom Gamboa, but 15, 20 years ago,
well,
when they ran onto the field and attacked the Royals first base coach.
That's why you're the only one with it, because you're still hanging on to that shit.
I'm the only one, yes.
All
But I
Cubs
do believe
fans.
he was. Well, it is kind of a remarkable thing when you have fans run onto the field and start beating the fuck out of an old elderly man at only doing his job. So regardless, I think he was taking a shit, which it would have been. I mean, that's a bit comical. It's understandable. It's more funny that Pedro is covering for him, that trying to say he was so locked in his video study that he just completely forgot about the game.
Yeah, Ozzy was like, why don't you just say, Ozzy basically took your take on it. He's like, it happens. He's like, I was coaching third and I was in a conversation and I wasn't where I was supposed to be, and they all started yelling at me because they need to start the game. And Ozzy was actually saying it's happened before.
Yeah.
It's just like it happened to happen on this broadcast, and the Sox are under such a fucking microscope, and we know everything that's going on. So we saw it firsthand, but he said it happened to him twice when he was a coach for the Braves.
I think that's the reaction of someone who's secure in their position. Ozzy, he would own up to anything like that, and it shows how insecure Pedro has to be, understandably.
Yeah,
trying to cover up for any minor weirdness with the organization, and that is happening all the time in different amazing ways. So I think it speaks to that.
Wordhole Media.